Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review of the brand new high visibility Nike Ordem 2 match ball in the Premier League as well as the La Liga variations. Now this is the top end match ball currently on offer from Nike. It has a retail price of $150 US, so yes, it is very expensive, but it is the best of the best in terms of what they have to offer. Now as you can see, I have the Premier League as well as the La Liga variations here. Normally with the standard colorway match balls that have a white base color, the ones that you see from the very start of the season, there's a secondary accent color that is unique to that specific league. So the Premier League ball would normally be white with a blue accent, and the La Liga ball, I believe, would be white with an orange accent, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Just kind of guessing, but I think I'm right. But anyways, as you guys can see with the high visibility variation, there is no difference in the colorways whatsoever. So regardless of whether you go for the Premier League, the La Liga, or the Serie A variation of this particular ball, the graphics and colors remain exactly the same. The only difference is, of course, going to be the patches. Speaking of the patches, as you guys can see, the Premier League ball has a patch on the front, a patch on the back, your Barclays Premier League branding right there, and then it says 2014, 2015 right there by the valve. So pretty straightforward as far as branding is concerned. The La Liga one is a little bit different. You can see you have your Liga BBVA branding right there in full color. On the reverse side, you have a similar logo. It's slightly different, but it's in all silver, which I think looks pretty cool. You can see it says the official match ball of La Liga right there, actually in Spanish. And then right here by the valve, it tells you that it is, of course, the 2014-2015 season, again in Spanish, which is kind of interesting. Other than that, though, all the graphics remain exactly the same. You have the high visibility color, which is something that Nike always comes out at the start of the winter time, just because weather conditions can become a little bit more harsh. It rains a little bit harder, snow can even come into play, and because snow is white and the ball is normally white, that doesn't necessarily make for optimal visibility. So in order to cope with that, they come out with a bright yellow soccer ball with some very bright accents as well, which I think they've done successfully with this new high visibility model. It's definitely bright, it definitely stands out. I think it looks pretty cool, and it's one of the better looking high visibility balls that we've seen in recent years. Leave your opinions down below in the comments. Do you like how this ball looks, or do you not like it? Why or why not? So as you can see, you have a bright yellow base for the ball with some kind of orangish accents in the form of these little kind of dots in the actual yellow paneling. You of course have your Nike swooshes in pink with a white outline. You also have these little white kind of accent color pieces filling in the seams of Nike's AeroTrack technology. More on that in just a second. You can see the actual radar system, which is basically their visibility system, where no matter which way the ball is spinning, you always have a clear view of exactly how it's spinning, what directions it's spinning, how fast it's spinning, just because it's never ever going to turn into a blur. So you have these little kind of shapes right here. They're purple with pink accents, so it's definitely a more feminine looking colorway if you ask me. But in terms of visibility, they definitely hit it on the mark. You can see you have your Nike Ordem branding there in silver. You have your FIFA approved badge right there. And other than that, that's pretty much it as far as the ball is concerned. Pretty good looking ball. Like I said, very bright. And if visibility is what they're going for, they definitely did that successfully with this particular colorway. Now, in terms of performance characteristics of the Ordem 2, it's one of my personal favorites, if not my personal favorite, high-end match ball currently on the market. I like it because, one, it has a nice true kind of flight pattern through the air. It doesn't tend to deviate. It doesn't tend to bobble. Or just kind of go away from its natural flight pattern. If I kick it straight, I know that the ball is going to go straight, and that's very important for me, especially when you're dealing with a high-end match ball. It's not always the case, especially if you're talking about something like the Bazooka. The Bazooka is not bad, but every once in a while you'll kick it, and it'll do its own little thing, and that's okay every once in a while. It can work out for you in the long run, but like I said, I prefer to have something that has a very true and reliable flight pattern where I know exactly where it's going to go once it leaves my foot. I also like this ball because it is a little bit firmer, so if you're not familiar with high-end match balls, this will feel a little bit harder against your foot, especially at first, but once you get used to it, I really like the responsive feel that it has to offer, and it also seems to have a really nice sweet spot, so no matter which part of the ball makes contact with your foot, no matter how hard you strike it, it has a nice consistent sensation. Certain balls can have like a dead spot or just don't necessarily feel the same no matter depending on where you actually hit it on the ball, but you don't get that sensation with the Ordem 2. It just feels very good. And the last thing I really like about this ball is it has a noticeably faster flight pattern than most soccer balls out there. It just flies through the air really, really quickly. And that's, for me, especially if you're shooting the ball a lot, something that I personally very much enjoy. Now, in terms of the actual design itself, you have a 12-panel design. I know just at first glance, if you're not familiar with the Ordem 2 or the original Ordem from Nike, it may appear to have many more panels, but if you look at this little pentagon shape right here, that is actually one panel, because you can see you have these little grooves on the inside. This is what Nike calls their aero track technology. They don't go directly to the corners. They're simply there for the aerodynamics of the ball, to allow for a true flight pattern. Air is going to pass through those little kind of Nike aero track grooves there. And like I said, it's going to allow the ball to fly quicker through the air and more true through the air. So it's not going to deviate from its path that you kicked it on. So really nice flight pattern, very interesting design with the 12 panels. It does make for a perfectly round shape. I know a lot of people like to complain about it kind of looking like there's corners on the ball, and it's kind of very difficult to see on this particular video here. But I can see what they mean. You can see when the pentagons kind of all come to an attaching point right here. It does have a corner-ish looking kind of appearance to it, but that's only if you don't put enough air in the ball. Once you get used to it, once you kind of break the ball in, it's something that goes away, and it's not something that you're ever going to notice while you're actually using the soccer ball, so please keep that in mind. As far as other features on the ball are concerned, you can see that all the panels are fused together, so there's no stitching here whatsoever, which is what gives it its perfectly round sensation. And because everything is fused, it doesn't absorb water, and it maintains the same weight no matter what the playing conditions are. And then, of course, the final touch on all of Nike's match balls is it does have that very fine micro texturing on the outside. It does a good job of, again, kind of wicking away water, allows for a truer flight pattern, and it just feels good. It has that nice premium feel in your hands. Obviously, there are more complex features about the actual panel material itself, but they're so complex that I can't even explain them. So just know it feels good. It's very high end. It's very well made, and it's an extremely durable and high performance soccer ball. So that's pretty much it as far as my review goes on the Nike Ordem 2 in the new Hi-Vis colorway. I think it's a pretty cool looking ball. Leave your opinions down below in the comments. Give you another look at the Premier League one as well. Again, if you're interested in purchasing one of these for yourself, there is a link down below in the description to the review page on my website. You'll find Buy It Now links with the exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you can pick up all 3 variations of the high visibility match ball from Nike below its retail price. So be sure to go ahead and check that out if you're interested in one of these or multiples of these for yourself. Other than that though, guys, if you have any questions at all, leave those down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear if you haven't already, of course. All my social media information is down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.